You are listening to This Week in Taiwan. I'm Eloise Phillips. Every Saturday, we break down the biggest stories making headlines across the country, from politics and economics to culture and the unexpected. Whether you're tuning in from Taipei or halfway around the world, we've got you covered with what you need to know to stay in the loop. Premier Zhou Chengtai on February 6th touted the results of reciprocal tariff talks with the United States, saying they prove Taiwan and the US are, quote, strategic partners in democratic industries, end quote. Speaking at the Economic Ministry's Micro, Small and Medium-Sized Enterprise Diversified Revitalization and Development Plan results presentation, Zhou emphasized ongoing support for small and medium-sized enterprise, or SME, upgrades. He listed achievements over the past year, counselling 247,000 SMEs, creating over 9.7 billion NT dollars, approximately $306.5 million US dollars in value, and saving 363 million kilowatts of electricity. On the completed reciprocal tariff negotiations, Zhou said the team has, quote, made full preparations, end quote, awaiting Vice Premier Chang Li-chun's US trip for the formal signing. Achievements include Taiwan's tariff rate dropping to 15% without stacking, and most favoured nation treatment for semiconductors and derivatives under Section 232 tariffs. Zhou said, these two achievements also represent that the US side and Taiwan and the US together have once again proven to the world that we are strategic partners in democratic industries. We have a competitive edge and maintain a strategic partnership that will provide greater support for the transformation of all industries nationwide in the future. Everyone, please keep up the good work, okay? President Lai Ching-te has directed the SME Credit Guarantee Fund of Taiwan, Taiwan SME Counseling Foundation, and financial units to proactively contact SMEs via phone calls to assess post-negotiation needs. Zhou said data will soon be checked for optimal industry needs. Foreign Minister Lin Jialong extended his sincere congratulations on Monday to Prime Minister Anutin Charnvirakul, who claimed victory in Thailand's general election on Sunday, February 8th. The Foreign Ministry pointed out that Taiwan and Thailand have long enjoyed close cooperation, and under the framework of the new southbound policy, the two sides continue to deepen bilateral cooperation, increase people-to-people exchanges, and achieve fruitful results. Running on patriotic sentiment after the two border wars with Cambodia in 2025, Anutin's Bumjai Thai party won over conservatives, promising to defend traditional Thai institutions like the monarchy and military. According to preliminary statistics from Thai media, the party won nearly 200 seats, securing a significant advantage. Before the election, Rachada Dandirek, a senior member of the Bumjai Thai party, responsible for foreign affairs, told the media that if the party remained in power, it would maintain friendly relations with Taiwan, especially in the economic and technological fields. When asked about its stance on cross-strait issues, she said, quote, Thailand hopes for peace, end quote. The Foreign Ministry stated that Taiwan hopes to build on the existing good relationship with Thailand and continue to uphold the principles of pragmatic and mutually beneficial comprehensive diplomacy. It said it will further substantive cooperation with the new Thai government and parliament to jointly promote regional peace, stability and prosperity. The vote counting process for the Thai general election is still underway, with official results to be released no later than April 9th. Taipei Mayor Chiang Wan-an commended the Taipei City Police and Fire Departments and Metro for their prompt response to a series of random arson attacks over the weekend. The suspect was apprehended in under 3 hours, which Chiang said demonstrates clear results of the city's recent emergency response drills and improved personnel capabilities. Taipei police and firefighters received a report just before noon on Sunday, February 8th, of a fire in a men's restroom at the city's Da'an Forest Park MRT station. On the same day, a similar report was filed 2 hours later, this time at Taipei's Shandao Station, where staff had extinguished the fire. In both cases, an unknown suspect entered and set fire to debris in the men's restroom in a suspected arson attempt. The suspect was promptly arrested at 2:30 the same afternoon and taken in for police questioning. Speaking on Emergency Services Response Monday, Mayor Chiang commended the agencies and personnel for their prompt response and arrest. He said this demonstrates the effectiveness of the emergency drills the city has conducted following the shocking metro attack on December 19th last year. Chiang said,
our joint defense mechanism was activated immediately, with the suspect identified and arrested within 3 hours. These are the concrete results of our 3 recent enhanced emergency response drills and a reflection of our improved overall emergency response.
The Hong Kong Outlanders civic group rallied outside of Taiwan's legislature this Tuesday in support of media tycoon and Apple Daily founder Jimmy Lai, who has been sentenced to 20 years in prison in his national security trial. The Hong Kong court found Lai guilty of collusion and sedition last December and handed down the sentence this Monday. This is their heaviest sentence since the national security law took effect and could mean the 78-year-old Lai will spend the remainder of his life behind bars. The group, who are mainly Hong Kongers, live in Taiwan, condemned the Chinese government's repression of freedom. Group member Fu Tang said the verdict is a cruel, politically motivated punishment against someone who devoted his life to Hong Kong's democratic movement. Fu said Lai embodies the reason why China's authoritarian rulers fear those who pursue freedom and democracy. Hong Kong Outlanders chairman Sky Feng said that one of the Chinese government's main goals is to suppress all dissenting voices. He warned that China's use of the national security law has already gone beyond Hong Kong and that they could draw Taiwan into its scope.
As long as Taiwan's democratic system and diverse voices continue to exist, they are seen by China as a threat. Taiwan is not treated as an ordinary foreign country, but as a long-term, highly politicized target, so any connection with Taiwan itself could be considered a crime,
he said. Feng emphasized that this case places media operations, financial dealings and external communications within the framework of, quote, dividing the nation, end quote, meaning that any journalistic cooperation, academic exchange or policy dialogue involving Taiwan could be defined as, quote, manipulation by external forces, end quote. This, he said, also further compresses the space for Taiwan's public discourse, democracy and freedom. President Lai Ching-te said this Wednesday that he plans to invite the heads of Taiwan's 5 branches of government, the Legislature, Cabinet, Judiciary, Examination Yuan and Control Yuan, to a tea gathering after the Lunar New Year to foster communication across party lines and strengthen national unity. Lai told reporters the meeting is to develop naturally without a set agenda, adding that, quote, seeing each other breeds goodwill, end quote. Legislative Speaker Han Kuo-yu announced last week that the president will host a tea gathering, which the presidential office has confirmed. The office highlighted Taiwan's complex challenges and emphasized that, despite political differences, there is only one nation. President Lai hopes that all 5 branches can foster dialogue, build consensus, and work together to benefit the country and address people's issues. Asked whether the event signals greater engagement with opposition parties to accelerate passage of the annual and defence special budgets, Lai said the presidential office would not overly define the purpose of the tea gathering, given prior procedural concerns. He again called for goodwill, saying he hopes everyone, quote, harbours kind thoughts, speaks kindly and does good things for the nation, end quote. The United States House of Representatives passed the Protect Taiwan Act last Monday by a 395-2 vote. Foreign Minister Lin Jialong thanked the US congressmen for their support in a Facebook post, emphasizing how the act demonstrates unwavering bipartisan support for Taiwan's security and democratic resilience. Lin explained that PROTECT stands for Pressure Regulatory Organizations to End Chinese Threats, and complimented the lawmakers' ingenuity, showcasing the protective nature of the bill. He explained that the act mainly states that if the security, social or economic systems of the Taiwanese people is threatened by China's actions, the US should, to the greatest extent possible, push for China's exclusion from important international financial and supervisory mechanisms such as the Group of 20 or G20, the Bank for International Settlements, the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision and more. The bill is part of a line of concrete pro-Taiwan actions, including the Taiwan Assurance Implementation Act passed last year. Lin said,
Taiwan and the U.S. use a term called symbiotic partnership, one that we have worked hard to achieve. What I'm promoting is a Taiwan-U.S. fleet. This isn't just a narrow definition of military security, it also includes economic prosperity and development.
The foreign minister thanked the U.S. executive and legislative branches for their support, trust and attention to Taiwan. He expressed hope that the two will continue to work together to safeguard peace, create prosperity and build a more resilient partnership. Japan's 51st House of Representatives election delivered a political shift. Under Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi, the Liberal Democratic Party has secured 316 seats. crossing the two-thirds threshold in the 465-member lower house and setting a post-war record for a single party. With the Japan Innovation Party included, the ruling bloc now controls 352 seats, more than three-quarters of the chamber. At a victory news conference, Takaichi described the vote as a referendum on national security and economic reform. She called it an election that staked her, quote, political life, end quote, saying voters have now given the government a clear mandate to carry out its policy shift. The result hands Takaichi a powerful legislative base to push security and foreign policy changes, as this year marks the 10th anniversary of former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's, quote, free and open Indo-Pacific, end quote, vision, a framework Takaichi has pledged to deepen. On China, she reaffirmed Japan's position of pursuing a, quote, strategic, mutually beneficial relationship, end quote, while responding calmly and firmly in defense of national interests. Her remarks on Taiwan last year, that a Taiwan contingency would also be a Japan contingency, triggered economic and diplomatic pressure from Beijing. Analysts say that pressure has strengthened domestic support. Taiwan-based scholars describe the outcome as a decisive shift in Japan's political direction, away from centrist ambiguity and towards strategic clarity. For now, Takaichi appears firmly in control. The question is whether this sweeping mandate will translate into lasting transformation, and how it will reshape East Asia's balance of power. And that is it for this week in Taiwan. My name is Eloise Phillips. If you want to know more about what's going on in Taiwan, visit our website at rti.org.tw/en. Until next time.
Catch the latest RTI news, programs, previews, and more on our website, en.rti.org.tw.